We're coming down the stretch on the regular season alongside head coach Mark Kingston, Mike Lefko with you here for another edition of the Mark Kingston Show. Coach, let's go back a couple of weekends ago, the series against UCF. You guys won that series. What was your overall takeaway from that weekend?
I thought we played really well that weekend. We had good pitching, especially Friday, Saturday night, and we played well against our rival. Obviously, everybody knows UCF's big rivalry. So to win that series at home, I thought was really, really good for our program.
Something we've talked about this year throughout the course of the season, the offense. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're just a swing or two away. It looked like you really got that consistency from the offense that weekend. Is that what you took away from that?
Yeah, we scored enough to win. Obviously, we're not where we want to be yet offensively, and that's going to come with age and experience and strength and more at-bats. So we're not where we want to be offensively yet, but there are days where we see glimpses of it. We see the speed, we see the power components that we want to have. We're just not seeing it often enough yet and consistently enough. When we do, I think we're going to be just fine. But as we've been saying all year, it's part of this process that we're going through.
You have talked about guys getting a role and settling into that. And I know that's something you would like to have and define maybe at the start of the year. Have these guys now figured out their roles on the team with, hey, just about 2 weeks left in the season?
I mean, probably, but we've still had to experiment even here down at the end. I think for the most part, the guys know when they get to the park if their name's going to be in the lineup or not. Not every guy at this point, but the majority of them. And I think most of our positions have been pretty stable in terms of what the roles are going to be. Not where we want to be yet. Not going to sit here and say everything is perfect, because it's not. But I think we're moving in the right direction.
Well, we have seen some very tough competition over the past few weeks. This past weekend, Tulane, a couple of days ago against Florida. Is that what you tell your guys? Hey, this is the model of where we're trying to get to?
No question about it. Florida is the #1 team in the country right now, and we played very close with them, except for one inning that we let it get away from us. Against Tulane, I thought Tulane had as good a weekend as they could have, offensively, pitching-wise, and that's a top 15 team at this point. So there's no question that's where we want to get, and I think it's good for our players to see where the gaps are from where we are to where we need to get. I think it's good for them to gain confidence when they play those teams that, hey, we can stick with these guys, and it's only going to get better as we get older and stronger. So I think it's really good. We play East Carolina this weekend, so you're talking about 7-8 games in a row against top 15, top 20 caliber teams. So it's not always easy, but we're going to make sure we gain a lot of experience and learn a lot about our team as we go through this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess it's not easy or not good that you have to play such tough competition, but the flip side perhaps is that these players can understand then what high-level college baseball really is right in front of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Once again, sometimes you can fool yourself early on if you're not playing the best in the country. Right now, our guys are going to be able to measure themselves and see what it takes. See at your position, what is a high-level third baseman or shortstop or center fielder or closer or starting pitcher. Any position on the field, you'll be able to measure yourself against some of the best in the country when you're playing these caliber teams. So I think it's going to be good for our guys. Sometimes it's a reality check. Sometimes it inspires confidence because you say, hey, that guy's not any different than I am. I just need to keep working. So I think we're gonna continue to try to gain positives through the struggle, and we've been saying it a lot. We're going to gain strength through our struggles at this point.
Well, a lot of young players, a lot of guys have had to step up, especially at the catching position, which maybe wasn't expected. When we come back, we'll talk with Levi and Luke Borders and see just how strong their family bond runs here on the Mark Kingston Show.
The University of South Florida is a regional powerhouse with global significance, leading advances that are changing the world. Now a leader among the nation's universities in research, healthcare, and just being cool. The place where young men and women train to become the best.
This is where the bulls run.
Lindsay's the oldest one. She's 25 now.
I
It's
think
kind of
so,
hard
yeah.
to keep track.
Hard to keep track of all the ages.
Then there's him. He's the second oldest one. There's me. I'm 21. 20. Did Laura miss 20? Yeah, Laura's 20. The one under that, Leah, she's turning 18. Who's after that, Lance? Yeah, Lance, he's 15. Lily, and after her, Olivia, Landry Kate, and who knows what she could do.
What is she, 2?
Yeah, she's 2.
We're big on family at our house.
When you want your peace and quiet, you can always, go to your room, but even then, sometimes your little sister will come in your room and try to wake you up or something, but, it really is, it's a good thing.
Especially with six girls in the house. Growing up, we were always playing some kind of family sporting event, wiffle ball, football, basketball, whatever.
Everything we do, there's always some sense of competitiveness. Like, we'd be eating one day and he had one more piece of filet than me, and I'd be like, oh, you had more than me, I'm gonna have one more. And it never ended until we couldn't take it anymore. Just anything like that, we always compete.
It's not some laid back event, it's you're getting after it. No one likes to lose. When you lose, they're pretty upset.
A lot of people think like, oh, your dad played baseball, so he probably forced you to play. It's just like, oh, he was there, and then we saw him play, and we're like, oh, it's kind of cool, let's do it too. And then we kind of enjoyed it, and then we'd just follow him around, and he'd throw to us, and we'd hit and stuff, and that's really how it just came to be.
We got to hang around the locker room and be on the field during BP occasionally, and seeing that's a real motivator. To be honest with you, this was one of my only visits, one of my few visits. I knew I wanted to be close to home, but away from home at the same time, so it's about an hour and a half away from home, and I thought it was a perfect spot for me. It just wasn't the same freshman year playing without him, We grew up playing on the same team since we were in T-ball, so my freshman year, you never know. I didn't know if it was going to be my last time playing with him after leaving high school, so him coming here, we got to keep the ball rolling in that direction, and it's been a really good time. Remember it like it was yesterday. I was in the dorms and a freshman, and now I'm a senior.
Just being here, I love the atmosphere. I love being in the locker room. When you come in here and you sit down and you have all the team around you, and you just socialize and have fun. It's really, you take things for granted, and it's just fun to be around everyone in this environment. I'm just glad to be here and be in such a great program. And I stop every now and then and just think like, wow, it's great to be here and be able to play baseball, It's a good place.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speed Form Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Welcome back to the Mark Kingston Show. Well, Coach, we just saw a nice piece on Levi and Luke, those Borders brothers, so tight-knit, a close family. I know you inherited these two, but what was your impression when you first met them?
Well, I had known about their dad, obviously, as a big baseball fan growing up. I remember their dad playing in the World Series with the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are one of the teams I like to follow. And he was a World Series MVP, played on some great teams, and he was a leader on those teams. So getting to coach his two sons is a real privilege, and his two sons are great kids. They work hard, they love to play. They're different personality-wise. Luke is a little more carefree, and Levi's a little bit more intense and no-nonsense type personality. But you love having both of them on your team. So really happy that those guys are in our program.
And it was a terrible setback and unfortunate that you guys lost Levi for this season. But now if you look ahead to next year, I guess maybe is it fitting that he and his brother will get to end their college careers together?
I think so. You know, sometimes these things just work themselves out, and so those guys will get to play one last year together and hopefully go out on top. That'll be our goal, is that with the return of Levi next year and the continued development of Luke, they'll be big parts in what we hope will be a championship team.
So not to focus on next year just yet, though. We have about 7 games left in the regular season, then the conference tournament. What's your message to your team this weekend and then down the final home stretch?
I mean, our message is simple at this point. Just keep playing hard, respect the game, keep trying to get better every single day, and understand every day we play is a privilege, and it's an opportunity to continue to improve as a program, as a team, and as a player. So it's very simple. We're going to continue to play hard and go about our business.
The Bulls are on the road for a weekend series at ECU. Then they finish the regular season here with 4, one against Jacksonville, and then the conference ends with Connecticut. Thanks for watching this edition of The Mark Kingston Show.